know I was missed. I missed me. Shoot, I missed me. I missed me coming up here. Welcome, everybody, to the Noisy Fox stream, where we free our minds, baby. we here on a Sunday night, almost Sunday night for me. Hope y'all having a good ass day, because my day was very good, very productive. Had a very good day today. Did a whole lot of things, but here we are streaming. And I'm just gonna go straight into it because this is important. I think this is a very important message, especially for the men, because as you know, I mean, I'm a man, so I cater to only the gender that I understand as much as I understand myself. So this is for the men out there, and I know most of my viewers are men, so it is what it is. But I had to go into this. As the title says, she said, we don't need men. My question is, a world without men? What? Okay, so I think I got something in my eye. So tell me how. Let me start it off with a little story. I was doing my regular day-to-day duties, in my life, and I come across this person, and we were talking about this contraption that's called a queen, and it carries a whole bunch of restaurant silverware, dishes, and all that. And it was being pulled over to an area where we both were in, and they were like, can you bring the queen? And I'm like, the queen? What about the king? And then she said, one of the other females, she said, as it should be, there should be no king. I looked at, in my head, I'm like, wait, what did I just hear? And then all the other females were like in agreement. I'm like, damn. And I know like subconsciously they meant it, because I know I'm aware of all the programming that's going on, especially with this feminism movement, this feminism agenda, this independent movement where females have to be independent, they don't need a man, equal pay, equal rights, blah blah blah, women should be able to do the same thing men should do, blah 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 blah. Let me tell y'all something. I was in construction, right? I went to construction school. There were a couple females in construction in the school, and they were complaining, oh, this is too hard, why do I have to do this, I don't want to do this. Not a lot of them survived the end of the class, and the whole time I'm thinking, damn, this is why we have men. This is why women have different powers and different abilities than men. This is an example of why we need men. And it brought me to this conclusion where I have to go on stream about this. Because here's what happens. When you deprive the society of men, and this is how they did it. I'm gonna explain it all. This is how they did it. When you deprive the society of men, now you have misguided, unnurtured, and unmanly kids, sons, unwomanly daughters, because it takes two to tango. You need both energies to teach each other. You can't just have one. And I think this is what the feminism movement is all about. It's about making the American family, making the American home. And I'm only speaking in terms of America. I'm not speaking in terms of Europe, Africa, Indonesia, Australia. I'm not talking about those people, because I'm not over there. I'm talking about America. I'm talking about the modern Western society now as I see it. Feminism is teaching the woman, okay, I can do whatever I want. I don't need a man. I don't need a man to take care of me. I don't need a man to be around me. I don't need a man to raise my kids. I can do it all myself. I'm not saying nobody can do anything themselves, but here's what happens. Here's the problem. When you deprive the society of men by empowering the woman to the point where she believes she doesn't need men, now you have men who can't be confident. Now you have men who grow up in a lack of confidence, because when he tries to go out there and, fulfill his manly duties and getting a mate, the female is so hard-headed, she's like, oh, I don't need this man. I don't need him. The fuck he talking to me for? So now you have a female demographic of this belief or stigma. Oh, I can do everything myself. I don't need a man. And now it becomes so much to the point where men feel like they're not needed. And this is where you have bad issues in the family, because if you don't have a man who feels like he cannot be a man, then what you will grow up with, especially as a son or a daughter, you will grow up with a son who does not know how to be a man because he did not have a man in his household. You will grow up with a daughter who does not know how to protect herself and fulfill that masculine energy as the man in the family should teach her. And that's what you have. And this is why you have sons, daughters growing up with emotional issues, school shooters, deadbeat dads, single mothers. All of these issues that happen in the American home, it's because the energies are not lining up. And this is what the plan was. See, what they had to do was they had to figure out, okay, how can I get the man out the house? Once I got the man out the house, okay, now I can take care of the female. Now I can, because now that the man is gone, the family is vulnerable. So how can we take the man out the house? Okay, so now that the man is out the house, we send him to work in the factories for long hours. And the female took care of the kids. That was the role. That was the conditions. That was what they did. But see, now that they took the man out the house, okay, now the family is vulnerable. How can we take the female out the house? Okay, boom. Let's raise up inflation. Oh, now both gotta work. Now the man and the female have to work too. Now the kid is left all alone. So now you gotta hire babysitters, but not everyone can afford that. So it's hard to raise kids when both people are out the house. Then what they did is, okay, so since we got both the man and the female at the house, the king and the queen, which is what it's supposed to be, because it takes two to tango. Come on, y'all. It ain't this hard. It ain't so hard. Now that they got the female and the masculine out of the house, they can now control the female or the son or the daughter. They can now control the son or the daughter, social media, schooling, bullshit news, so much fear, so much distraction, so much crap being fed into the young minds. And now what you have is a society raised by an agenda. And this agenda is made out by people who don't have your best interests. You don't have to listen to me to know that they're not in your best interests. If they actually cared about us, why is it legal for a fast food restaurant to be up on every street corner? Why is there a liquor store on every street corner? They actually cared. But that's not even that. You see, what happens is it boils down to the responsibility of the person, because now at this point, it's not their fault. It's not them. It's all on us. We have to understand as men, and I'm gonna go into another story about a kid I was talking about, and he was 16 years old of age. As men, we have to understand, you cannot ever rest, because there is a society built to make sure you are as weak as possible. Because if you destroy the man, if you destroy the masculine energy, you now have a weak wife, you have a weak son, you have a weak family. Same thing if you destroy the feminine mind. But what they did, I think it's more targeted towards men, because the man is supposed to be the provider, the man is supposed to be the protector. That's the role. But you see, this is what they did. They took the man out the household first, which would make sense that the man is the primary target because he's the provider, he's the protector. It's something about the psychology of each genders. It's so different. Like, men are more logical. They're more the decision makers. They're more of the crafters. They're more of the creators. We make decisions. We get things done. That's the masculine energy. The feminine energy is to support. It's to make bigger. It's to grow together. This is why the female carries the child, not the man. The man is too busy creating, and the female's making the family. It takes two to tango. You cannot have one without the other. But you see, they had to break the man first, because once you break the man first, now you don't have a rock to keep the family strong. Now you don't have a rock. And this is what they've been doing. So, men, we have to realize every moment you spend in your life, you have to always be going higher. You have to always be going higher, not only because society has given up on men, but because society is against you, especially men, especially against men. There's no such thing as masculinism. It's called feminism. It's called feminism. And this is not an attack on feminism. This is not attacking anybody. I have to put that disclaimer out. I'm simply saying how I see things and putting in the effects of it. And I'm trying to paint a picture so everyone can see the effects in the simplest way as possible so that it makes sense. I'm not saying any of that is wrong, but I'm trying to paint a picture so that everyone can understand the effects. If you have a world without men, because she said a queen as it should be, only a queen as it should be. If you get rid of the king, how are you gonna have kids in the first place? A lot of it is just so stupid. a lot of the thoughts are a lot of the ideas are just so unbelievably bizarre. If you really think about it, there's so many scenarios where it really takes both energies to do. And the simplest thing that you can always go back to, if anyone's confused about anything, just look at nature. Look at nature. We got this, oh, dare I even say the alphabet community? Screw it. The alphabet community. We ain't go. Y'all fill in the letters. We have all of these people talking about, oh, I want to be this. I want to be this gender. It really confuses me, because if you look at literal nature, if you literally look at literal nature, there is always two genders. It took something as quote unquote advanced as a human to confuse it all and make all these other things. And it really is interesting. So here's my thing. If a world without men was needed, and we don't need men, then why are there women complaining about lifting rocks? Who built those roads? Who built those cities? Who's working on your car? Who's putting them streetlights in? Who is building Japan? Who? But we don't need men. Okay. Refuse to believe that. We need each other. That is the thing. We need each other. But you see, what happened is they have convoluted the minds of the young people. And they have literally took their minds and they have put information in it that they want you to believe. And they said, this is what it should be. And now we are living in a world where there's a war. It's a literal war. They have made a war between men and women. It's a war. So now in this Western society, we have confused people everywhere we go. And we have men who don't know who they are. We have men who don't want to do anything. We have men who are lazy. We have men who are crazily emotional. We have men who just are embarrassed about themselves. We have men who always give in to fear. We have men who are broken. We have females who are confused. We have females who want too much but don't have really much to offer, if I'm going to say so myself. which is so interesting. I mean, honestly, if you go, it's so interesting to me. If you go and I should do an interview in like a university or something. I should really do like an interview or something with like teenagers, just to get an idea of really what's in their head, and put it on the stream. Because if you go and ask these people, and yeah, not even ask these people, if you go on social media, because the social media is what's being fed to the young people. If you look on social media and you're looking at all this feminism beak bull crap, you're looking at all this alphabet community stuff, if you're looking at all this gender stuff, if you're looking at all this equal pay, equality stuff, if you're looking at all of these stuffs that is going into the mind of the young people, you can get a clear idea of what people are thinking on. And you can look at the views, you can look at the reactions, you can look at the comments. This is how a lot of people think. And it's crazy. If you go and you just look at this, you can see that there's just a lot of confusion. I was once in a place working, and I talked to this kid. He was my coworker. He was 16, very young. 16? So much potential. 16. He can rule the freaking planet at 16. Do you know what this guy had said? I told him, why don't you start a business? It doesn't matter the context of the conversation, because it doesn't really matter. Said, why don't you start a business? He said, because I don't want to do anything better for myself. That killed me. That literally hurt me. 16-year-old saying something like that. When did it get to like that? When? Why? Really? You don't want to do anything better for yourself? Men, we need to stand up, because there will come a day, one day, when you will get kids. And if you waste every second of your early days, you will get kids one day. And your kid will say, hey, why didn't you do that, Dad? Why aren't you cool like him, Dad? Why don't you do this and that, Dad? Because kids are very observant, and they always ask questions, and they don't care about your feelings necessarily, because they're curious. They're very curious people, and they will put it bluntly. Hey, why are you doing this, Dad? Your kids want someone to look up to as a man. As a young man growing up, you have to be someone to be looked up to. And I feel this is the purpose of every man. To be someone amazing, to be someone remembered. You know, like, what's his name? Hey, that's cool. That's his name. That's a cool name. Hey, I'm gonna remember that guy. Malcolm X. Martin Luther King. Flipping Genghis Khan. Nelson Mandela. Why do we remember their names, but not the homeless guy down the street? What's the difference? And people are brutal. That's the thing. People are brutal. I believe we're all messed up in our head some way. Even if we're good people, I believe we're all messed up. Because there's so much ego and there's so much hate in the world. And I think that we all have a lot of it in us, but it's how we deal with it that shapes us into the characters we are. Whether or not we're perceived as good or bad, I think it has a lot to do with the environment. But even then, no matter how good you are, I really believe that there's some degree of just like messed up behavior or something. That's just my personal opinion. Just my personal opinion. Because every time I meet new people, I'm just seeing so many weird things about different people. And it doesn't necessarily mean they're bad. Doesn't necessarily mean they're good. It's just everyone's unique. But I believe that everyone has some sort of trait that is just kind of odd. But, you know, that's okay. But for someone that young to say that, How is that good? And then you also have to take into consideration what is going on in social media. And another thing, I met another younger kid. He was 17. And almost made me so sad. He was working and our coworkers were females. There were 2 females. And all they did was abuse him. Emotionally, not physically. They didn't touch him. In fact, he hit them. It was weird. It's so weird. All he did was emotionally abuse him, calling him names, and he's just taking it all in. He doesn't know how to deal with it. I had to tell him, but you know, not everybody's ready to face their defects or their issues or their flaws. So you have to be careful when you unravel flaws or defects about people, because a lot of the times they're not ready. So what I like to do is I like to ask, hey, I noticed something about you. Can I give you an opinion? And if they give yes, then they're ready. But there was one time where he was talking to one of the coworkers that were female, and she said something, and he grabbed a folder from the table with all his might and swung it across her head. Her head went like this, and it was a folder, a piece of paper. This guy had literally all his might, and her head just bobbed like that, and she just stood there. I've never seen that behavior in my life until that day. Mind you, this is the same guy that's getting this same abuse from the females, and I call it abuse because it wasn't nice what they were saying. But here's the thing that I noticed about this generation. Here's the thing. In terms of females, here's what I noticed. If you are attracting or around people who are in a lot of pain, they're looking for someone to project that pain onto. So if you are gonna be a doormat, or if you are gonna be a punching bag, they will continuously project that pain onto you until you make the decision to either leave or to find out a way how to go past that and elevate past that. And I actually want to give an example from my life on how I deal with things. Now, this is going to be a little bit different than the general way, because my situation I'm about to explain is a little tailored. And I actually talked about this with a friend today. I used to work at a casino as a bartender and houseman. Used to set up tables and stuff. Right now I'm doing more independent work as a bartender, but anyway, I used to work there. And I'm learning Spanish. And 2 months in, I can have a conversation and I'm pretty damn good. I'm not even being humble. I'm just gonna screw it. I'm pretty damn good, okay? I'm not perfecto, but I'm pretty good. Okay, I can have a conversation. Not just coffee shop. Not just, hey, where did you go to the coffee shop? No. I'm pretty okay. Okay? But I'm not perfect, not perfect. And I don't know all the slang. I don't know all the ways people say things. But I had an experience where I was with different people and they were saying things about me. And it got to the point where I was like, hold on. I have 2 choices. I can either take it and just accept it. Just accept it. You never, as a man, you never accept that. But what I had to say was, hold on. If I accept it and let it keep going, then I can keep learning. So every time someone was saying something and I let it keep going, and I knew how to let it keep going and I knew how to stop it, but I continued to let it keep going. Every time something was said, I was like, what does that mean? I literally did that. What does that mean? They tell me. What does that mean? 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 And in the process, I'm becoming more and more educated. So 2 months in, people keep talking. People keep talking crap, keep saying this, keep saying that. What does that mean? I'm learning, getting smarter. Keep practicing. And in the end, I started to realize, hold on. A lack of respect, because that's honestly what it is. When people talk about you like that, honestly, it could be different with different cultures. It really could be different with different cultures, because what I find, since I started learning Spanish, I started to integrate more and more with the Spanish culture. And Spanish people are very different. Very, very different than Americans. Very. The culture is so different. I love it. I love mi amigos y amigas. I love everyone. Because honestly, I love the culture. But what I notice is, and I'm going to take this example from my early days in school, because I was bullied all throughout elementary school, all throughout middle school. So I knew how to deal with the pain. I knew how to deal with the words. I knew how to deal with it. But at the end of the day, for some reason, there would be just that moment where it would all change and eventually stop. And I guess that's what people would call respect. But for when you are trying to deal with people who are trying to put pain onto you, because that's what it is. You have to understand that when someone banters you, or when someone bullies you, or when someone disrespects you, or when someone do all that, a lot of it is from pain. And I'm not talking about once or twice. I'm talking about continuous. If it's continuous, you have to understand that what they're doing is they are self-projecting. They're self-projecting their pain onto you. That's all they're doing. And you have shown them subconsciously over and over. It usually happens after 3 times, because 3 is the number of acceptance. After the 3rd time, you have accepted their pain. So what they will do is they will keep putting pain onto you. Keep filling up your cup and emptying their cup. But what they're doing is they're refilling their cup full of pain and just bringing it onto you. They're literally just refilling and exporting more and more pain. That's what a bully is. It's pain being projected onto other people, and those other people are perceived as weak. That's what a bully is. It's someone who's in a lot of pain and needs to put it somewhere, and they decided to put it on the bullied. Here's what you got to do. If you are ever in a position, men, where someone, female or man, where someone may have this pain onto you, you need to ask them, hey, are you okay? You have to look at it from a different perspective. This is what has helped me, okay? I'm not telling anybody this is the secret sauce, okay? I'm not telling anybody this is the secret sauce. I'm not telling this to anybody the secret formula. I only can talk about what has worked in my experience of life. There's different ways to deal with different things. Like I said in that example in the casino, how I chose to deal with that. How I chose to deal with that experience. But that's not the same experience everyone's going to have. But if anybody as a man, if you are a man, is coming up to you with the bull, you have to understand that they are coming at you with pain. That's all. It's just pain. They're hurting and they want to put it somewhere. Are you okay? If you give them grace, a lot of the times they will conform, because now they have to look at themselves. Pain does not want to look at itself, because it will then realize how painful it is to itself. Think about that. You tell a bully, hey, are you okay? What's going on? A bully doesn't want to look at himself. A bully doesn't want to look at his pain that he's going through. A bully doesn't want to look at his past. He doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to face it, because he feels better by releasing that pain and putting it on others, so it becomes their burden and not his. But instead, what the bully doesn't realize is that when he or she goes home, when he or she is alone, the pain refills. Look at it, it's pain. and you will start to understand people more better. They're not trying to hurt you. They're not trying to belittle you. Although a lot of people may be, but it really all just derives from pain. Anybody who wants to even have the audacity to put someone down, to discourage anybody from doing anything that makes them better, anybody who has that innate thought to even try and do that BS is suffering from a whole load of pain, and they need to be looked at. If they don't want to look at themselves, you need to help them. Are you okay? Are you seriously okay? What I like to do is I like to expose, because like I said, bullies don't want to look at themselves. If anybody comes at me with the bull crap, all I have to do is make them look at themselves. I'm here to help you, not to go back. When you were in mode when someone is coming up to you with the BS, you feel like you have to say something back to assert dominance or whatever. That may be in a man-to-man, face-to-face basis. But when you are around that situation, you cannot get emotional. Don't take it personal. Take it personal. The worst thing you can do as a man is take stuff personal. Honest, well, not the worst. One of the worst things you can do is take something personal. Because when you take something personal, now you get emotional. And if you get emotional, you get sloppy. And if you get sloppy, you look weak. And if you look weak, you don't perform. You can't perform. So it's like, at the end of it all, you have to not take things personal and understand it's all just business. They're putting an exchange of pain from their mind onto you. All they're simply doing is offering you pain. Literally, that's how you have to look at it. It's pain, sadness, depression. What happened in their childhood when their dad beat them constantly? All that happened in the past, and they need to put it somewhere. They're literally coming up to your door. Hey, I'm a salesman. I'm trying to offer you pain. Will you accept? And you accept it by being silent. You accept it by laughing. You accept it by different ways, but it's up to you. It literally is up to you. And when you don't take it personal, you can choose. Like what I did at the casino. I chose. I said, hey, hold on. These people are a little bit too much. I'm going to respond. Okay, boom. I know that I don't want to stay stupid, and I know I want to learn the language, and I don't want to be great at it. So what is the best way? And I said, you know what? Let's let them keep talking. Oh, God. It's funny. Let's let them keep talking. Keep talking. What does that mean? I remember one thing that was so prominent. I remember I was at this one place, and I'm still learning Spanish. I'm still in the process. Someone said, "Muévete culo aquí. Muévete culo aquí." And the other guys laughed. And I knew innately, I knew it, which means move your ass here. And I knew instantly. I was like, oh shit, they said something offensive. What does that mean? every time. And I end up gaining and becoming better. So it's like, whenever someone comes up to you with the bullshit, learning opportunity. Oh my God, there's an opportunity to learn. How can I learn? How can I be better? How? Instead of taking it personal, getting all emotional, why'd you say that to me? Don't talk to me like that. Blah, 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 whatever the fuck you want to say. But then there will come a time when they have said everything, and now I know what it means. But when someone comes up to you with the bullshit as a man, you gotta understand, don't take it personal. You gotta understand, don't take it personal. Now, this is when it's consistent. There are times when it will be like a first thing. And I learned this in college. We're gonna get into high value men, high status men, alpha male, beta male, sigma male, and all the BS. It's all BS to me. It's status is BS to me. But it's the world we live in. And no matter how people want to put it, it is the world we live in. So you can't hide from it. It is real. It is there. There is something that gauges your place in this world. There is something, and that has been crowned the name as status. We all have a status. Every one of us, man and woman, however people want to put it, I don't care. There is something there that gauges your place in this thing we call Earth as a human. There's something there. And that thing I'm referring to, status. So let's get into this real quick. What is a high value man? What is a high status man? What is a high value woman? What is a high status woman? What is all of this thing? You see, I'm gonna do a stream on this. That's what I'm gonna do, a group podcast again. Maybe not a big group, not as big as the group I did before. If anyone's not sure what I'm talking about, if you want to look at the group podcast I did, it was what does a man want in a relationship and what does a woman want in a relationship. I had go and watch it. Let's get into it, right? I'm gonna go into this on a little podcast. But you see, this thing with men innately have this hunger for more, hunger for status, hunger for I gotta have this, hunger for I want to be the hunger. What is all this thing? Confuse the mind of the female, and we have weakened the mind of the man. So now you have a population of females that don't have any belief in the male, that don't believe in the male, that they can fulfill the capability, that the male is useless, that the male is all this and that and ain't nothing but a bag of chips. You have now a population of females that have that thought because that is what they have been shown. And then you have a group of men, a population of men, who are too emotionally unstable, who hate themselves, who don't treat themselves correctly, eat like crap, not getting strong, don't know how to protect themselves, don't know how to protect others. Just all sorts of weakened. It's a weakened mind state. We have a population of men that have been trained to be weak. And this is just a reality of it. It's just a reality of it. Why? It's called programming. We've been programmed, fellas. We've been programmed. We have to rewrite the program. If you pressed, what's the inspect command? If you go online and you right click the web page and you click inspect, you will see a whole bunch of code. I want you to look at that and be like, all this code is doing something. Literally, I'm getting to the analogy, our mind works like computers. All this code is doing something, but you can change the code. You can change your mind. But it depends on how much are you really willing to change it? And it ain't easy. It's not easy. It is really hard to change your mind. It is extremely hard to change your mind, but it's possible. But you have to be willing. You have to have a drive. You have to have a drive. And a lot of the problems with our world in terms of the men is there isn't a man figure to show us the way. There isn't a man figure. So when there is no man figure, social media teaches you. But social media is also teaching you bull crap. But when you have someone like the rise of Andrew Tate putting out messages to empower men, now it starts to change and reprogram the young minds who consume that type of content. And that's reprogramming. We've been programmed. We are programs. Our minds are programs. Code. I mean, it works the same way. Everything is working on a system in our minds. Everything. It's the same thing like how you code a computer. You input code, you input characters into this database, into this console, and this console carries out commands. You have a thought, and that thought carries out commands. It's all programs. We're all programmed. We've been programmed. It's up to you to change the programming if you don't like the programming you have presently. It's up to you! Because if it's not you who changes the programming, it will be the someone else who doesn't give a crap about you. And that person who doesn't give a crap about you will input malicious viruses in your mind. And that malicious virus will carry out and execute on automatic without you even knowing it constantly. Even on Twitch, as I am streaming right now, there is code running on automatic. I don't see it. It's automatic. There's something going on in the background. I don't see it. It's just like the subconscious mind. You really have to understand. Our minds are really like computers. You can input code and you can export code. You can run a program and you can stop running a program. It works the same way. Same analogy. Works the same way. You have to be careful what you put in your mind. And what really blew my mind, oh my God, this blew my mind. I was one day about to fall asleep and I had this random shower thought. And I was like, I was staring at the wall right before I fell asleep. I'm just having thoughts and I'm like, whoa. I'm literally just observing these thoughts. I'm literally observing my mind being mind. I'm literally observing my mind being a mind. It's like a mind observing itself. What the hell is mind? It's like this outer consciousness that's observing this inner consciousness. And you have these thoughts, and I'm just looking at them. I'm just observing all these thoughts, and I'm like, hold on. All these thoughts are just running and running and running and running. It's like a program. I'm looking at my wall, and I'm like, hold on. What color is my wall? What color is this? Like peach? Hold on. My mind is connected to my eyes, but my eyes only work because my mind has to work together with it. But in reality, why is that color peach? It's because my mind was told it was color peach. So now the wall becomes peach. Hold on. Now get this, it gets deeper. I'm looking at my wall, I'm like, hold on. Why is that called a wall? Why is that a wall? Why does that even exist in my peripheral? Why is it even here? Hold on. My mind is connected to the thing that sees that. Without a mind, you cannot see. Now with eyes, you cannot see. But your mind is deeply, deeply, deeply connected to how your eyes work. Because there's something going on. There's something going on. Your eyes just don't work without your mind. There's something going on. Your mind has to work together with your eyes for it to work. That's why it's all connected. Everything is connected to mind. Why is that thing called a wall? Hold on. It's because I've been told it's called a wall. It now becomes a wall. Hold on. Why can I touch this thing? I can process senses because of my mind. Wait. Why can I do all these things? I'm looking at my ceiling. I'm like, wait, why is that the ceiling? I'm looking at my toes. Why is that my toes? I'm feeling all my body. And then it came to my conclusion. Hold on. Every single thing imaginable is created by a blob of fat in your skull. Man, when it gets deeper and deeper and deeper like this, it's crazy. Every single thing you can imagine, every process, every action, everything is created by a blob of fat in your skull. Everything. Think about that. Now hold on. Noisy box, okay, so it doesn't matter. If everything is created by that thing in your skull, and you have one too, then you can create any world you want. You can, instead of saying, hey, that thing is a wall, you can say it's a bird. Now it becomes a bird. You really have to think about the power you have, y'all. You cannot sit there wasting time. If you sit there wasting time, you will regret it when you don't have any. You will regret it when you don't have any time. If you sit there and waste another second of saying, oh, there's nothing better I can do for myself, you will sit there wasting your potential. That wall is called a wall because your mind has accepted it should be a wall. But you could say it's a bird, and now it becomes bird. That is proof that you can literally create anything imaginable. If you want 10 cars, you can create it. If you want $10 million, you can create it. If you want 5,000 houses, you can create it. If you want 5,000 pieces of land, you can create it. But yet, they got you distracted on Netflix. Instant gram of cocaine to your brain, spreading dopamine. Facebook. TikTok your time down the drain. TikTok is a clock. It's an app, but it's a clock. Because when you go on there, hold on, 3 hours passed, but I was just on there 15 minutes ago. Hold on, why is 3 hours passed? YouTube Shorts. Shorting your darn brain cells with bullcrap content. It's unacceptable. We really have to look at ourselves in the mirror, man. And we have to say, what the fuck am I doing? Saying, hey, I can't do anything better for myself. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Be doing something. It doesn't matter what it is. Something. Accomplish something. I said, I will be fluent in 6 languages. English, I'm not fluent in English. I can't even speak English. Spanish, I'm damn near close with that. Next one, the languages I'm going to learn is English, Spanish, Chinese, Japanese, French, and Arabic. Now, why I chose those is because 5 of those languages are the United Nations language, which makes it the most common language spoken. So it would be very, very imprudent for me to be able to learn those languages. And I'm going to learn them all and very well. Starting with Spanish because I'm in America. A lot of Spanish people around me. Makes sense. I started with Japanese a while ago, but then I realized, hold on, I'm not in Japan. I'm not in Japan. Why am I speaking this? But I'm still gonna learn it because I started it. And now I'm at the point where I can understand anime, but I can't speak the language. I don't even know the word for when in Japanese anymore. I don't even know it anymore. But if I hear it, I'll be able to understand it. But the point is, you have to be accomplishing something always. Keep working towards your goal. You have to keep going. You have to. It's not, oh, I don't feel like it, so I'm not gonna do it. No, you have to understand the whole world is against you. The whole world is trying to say, hey, you're a man, you shouldn't do anything. You should constantly be looking at your emotions, which hasn't worked out for me, to be honest. So I can't agree with that. You should surrender more. You should let your female do everything for you. Except being... I don't even want to say the word because every time I talk, I gotta watch out for what I say because you never know. The alphabet gang. You never know. You never know. But it's like, it's not even that we're defeated. It's that we've honestly accepted our reality. You can't defeat men. You can't defeat women. You never can. Impossible. We are the utmost strongest pieces of consciousness on this earth. But we have become weak to the point where a red light tells us what to do. We have lost our power to a color. Hey, you know, it's the world we live in, but that high status male, high status female, what is a high status male? What is a high value man to y'all? What is that to y'all? Because if we really go into it and we look at people who are that image per se, I'm gonna give y'all my opinion because, you know, I don't really quite understand it fully, but here's what I observed. A high status man is someone who has everything that you can acquire with money. Everything. Not only this, they have a strong network, or strong, not meaning people who build them up, but they know a lot of people that could be acquired with status. All these cars, maybe have this house, all these followers on Instagram, that is status. But a high value man, I believe, is rare. High status it's not rare. I mean, all you really have to do, all you really have to do if you have the time is spend a couple years posting dumb crap on TikTok. Eventually someone will like your content, and then eventually more and more people will like your content, and then you'll have followers. Although it is hard, although it takes a grind, it gets you followers, it may get you money, it may get you people to know you, it may get you paparazzi, it may get you all the status, but you did that, but you don't know how to treat people right, you don't know how to have a relationship, you're fat maybe. I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm just being real. Fat is not high value, okay? If you are unhealthy and you have your stomach going below your legs, Stop accepting that as beauty. What you are doing is you are creating an environment for you to live in a constant excuse to not want to perfect your health. This is the reality. You have someone who is emotionally unstable. You have someone who can't take care of themselves. You have someone who's immature. All of these things are not there. Yes, you can be high status, but not necessarily high value. If you were, look, ask the nearest female around you. Ask them this question. I'm gonna ask someone this question because I want an answer. If you were to choose, this is the $1 million question for the females. I'm not sure if anyone female is watching this, but I'm gonna go on stream about this. For the females, if you were to be able to choose between, right, a man, let's go with the high value man first, in terms of what I think a high value man is. I'm not saying this is universally true. This is my perception of reality. High value man to me is someone big and strong, right? He's big and strong. He respects himself. He eats right. He's healthy. He's confident. He's strong in his words. He's disciplined. He has drive. He's a good person overall. He's charming, charismatic. He's funny. He's all these things. Notice how I didn't say money. Let's make this high value man working a 9-to-5 job. He works a regular corporate office job. He takes care of himself. He's able to take care of himself. You know, he has his own property. He has his own vehicle. He's a great guy. He's strong. He eats healthy. He's disciplined, and he goes to the gym. He works out. You know, he's a good person to be around. He's funny. He's charismatic. He's charming. He's not stupid in the head with his money. You know, he gets by. He has a 9-to-5 job, but he gets by. And maybe he doesn't have 5-car garages. Maybe he doesn't have 5 houses. Maybe he doesn't have $10 million in a bank account. But I can promise you, if you meet this guy, he's a damn cool guy. Now, woman, would you rather want a guy like that? Or, get this. Now you meet another guy. High status guy. He got tons of money, $10 million always in the bank account. He'll buy you golden rings. He'll buy you Birkin bags. He'll buy you whatever you want. He'll buy you a house. Just like that. You don't even need to care. He got his own business. Blah, 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 blah. He got his own business. He rich. He knows a whole lot of people that are even richer. He's always traveling. He got 10 million followers on Instagram. And all these things that is involved with status. But this high status man, he's not strong and fit like the high value guy. He's not disciplined and mentally strong like the high value guy. He's not eating healthy. He's not doing better for himself in terms of his physical health, mental, and spiritual health, like the high value guy. He doesn't keep to his word. Simple principles. As a man, he just doesn't have that. But he's got money. He's got tons of cars. He got all this. And vice versa. For the high value guy doesn't have what the high status guy has. And the high status guy doesn't have what the high value guy has. Which one would you choose? And here's a scenario. If you are with a high status guy, he has all this money, blah, 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 but the pizza man is the high value guy, who would you choose? Who would you choose? Because honestly, if I were a female, I'd go with the high value guy any day. Because you know what you can do. Here's the beautiful thing about men. Here's the beautiful thing about men. As a female, here's the very beautiful thing about men. If a man feels like he is truly in the presence of a female goddess, if he is truly in the presence of a female who's willing to support, and as a female, you actually do whatever it takes to support him, I bet you every single fucking day he will make sure he is the best damn man for him, for you, and his family. I guarantee it. because he knows that he has to become the best to make sure that he fulfills the role of man to his fullest. I guarantee you, if he truly feels like he can surrender in that presence and actually be a man and actually feel like he can stay a man, and you are supporting him in everything that he does, and make sure he is becoming the person who he needs to be so that he can stay the man that he wants to be. If you can truly be that, I bet you that high value man will have 5-car garages and become the highest status man. Bet you. Absolutely. And vice versa. It's the same thing. If the high status guy, it may be a little different with the high status guy because, you know, in the scenario I give, the high status guy doesn't have the values that the high value man did. Because what the high value man did is he put so much value on himself that he spent a lot of his time upgrading himself. Maybe he's not rich and has all these cars and stuff like the high status guy, but the high status guy, see, he was after the status. He wasn't really about the value. He was about the status. And it's not necessarily the same all the time. Maybe first you have to become a high value person and then get into a high status, but there's ways. I mean, honestly, just like the way I said, some random homeless guy could literally TikTok his life as a homeless guy every single day. There will be someone who watches his content, finds it entertaining, and then that will go on to the next person, and he will end up a TikTok millionaire. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Although homeless people probably not doing that, but there's ways to. I mean, just stupid ways to just get by in life or get through in life. It's weird. Crazy. It's honestly crazy. Honestly crazy. Just like I said, man. We gotta constantly be building ourselves up. Never give in to weakness. Never give into anything that is less than average. Because honestly, you have two choices as a man. And here's the thing. Here's the crazy thing. And as to proof as to why we're different. As the proof. The man ejects the sperm, correct? Ejects the kids. I like to call them the troops. During sex, the man ejects the troops. But you got all these sperm cells trying to get to that one egg. The man's job as a man, this is gonna hit y'all. Men's job as a man starts literally as a sperm. That's why we have to grind. We have to keep going. Our job started 10 years ago. 20 years ago. Before you were born, our job started. As a man, we were supposed to grind. We were supposed to try and become the best. We were in constant competition in the beginning, trying to get to that one egg. Now, whether or not that egg is a female or masculine, it doesn't matter. It all started from the masculine energy because the troops was ejected from the guy. There's still that competition. So it's still that masculine energy trying to get to the egg. It's still the same thing. It takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. It's still that masculine energy trying to get to the egg. I gotta get there. I gotta get there. It's still going to a goal. Still going to a goal. Still the same thing. Look at nature. Nature always has the answer. It never fails to give you an answer. It never fails. Nature's so darn brilliant, but what they have is they made everyone not look at nature, so now everyone's freaking clueless. Look at nature. Nature that always has the answer. But that's the crazy thing about men. Our job starts in the sperm phase. That's all when our job starts. A woman's job doesn't start until she gets pregnant. Don't ever damn fucking say it's hard. Or it's easy being a man. It's not easy being a woman, but I'm not a woman, so I don't speak for women. But here's my observation. I can damn well assure you. I believe, personally, I believe it's easier to be a woman in this society and grow and become better. It's easier. Why? Because women place their value in terms of beauty. A woman's value is placed on how beautiful she is. In China, what they used to do was they used to wear these shoes, the females, that curve their toes in a way to where the toes grow inward. So literally their feet looked like my fists. You can search this up. The Chinese people used to do that, and it was for the females. Because it was believed that toes were ugly. In the Western society, females wear makeup. Now the idea is the makeup to cover imperfections. Those covering imperfections make a female look beautiful. Geishas. Art is considered a beautiful woman. A geisha's role is to be beautiful. Value on a woman is placed on how beautiful she is. But here's the thing. Females are born with their beauty. Do you see the difference now? See, men, you're not gonna look at a group of attractive guys and be like, oh my gosh, you're so valuable, they're so cool. No, you don't give a fuck. If you're attractive and handsome as a man, they don't give a fuck. Who gives a shit? Oh wow, you got a perfect jawline. Who gives a shit? You may get a few females that may hit up your line, but if you ain't got no use, if you don't have any value outside of that, if you don't have the skill set, best believe the pizza guy is stealing your girl. Just saying. Just saying. No one cares. As a man, don't care if you're cute, don't care if you're attractive, don't care if you're perfect looking. So it don't even matter if you're born cute. You may have a little more value than someone who's quote unquote ugly. But a man, we're not born with value. You're just not. This is why you cannot spend any time doing nothing and not upping your skill set. Because that's how you're determined a value. Skill set. This is why men and women are different. This is why men and women are valued different. Men's jobs start at the sperm. A female's job starts when she's pregnant. Why? Why does a female's job start when she's pregnant? Because the female's idea, okay, I'm gonna find me a man that can take care of my family. I'm gonna find me a man that can provide for me, protect for me. That's what she's thinking in the subconscious mind. So I can take care of the kids. That's what a female's looking for. But she knows intuitively she's got tons of guys that would go for her. Why? Because she got a good front side, she got a good back side, she got the hourglass figure, she got a nice face. She knows. So she can say no to the guy who asks him. It don't matter how cute. It don't matter how cute and attractive you are. She can say no because she knows someone else will come knocking. That's the society now. We have placed too much value on beauty, and what has happened now, we as men, the regular guy, the average guy in Western society is just accepting females who are quote unquote beautiful to them, and there's no real drive. There's nothing really going on. You know, you're gonna spend your hours on TikTok. When I go to work and I'm on break, I'm working. I'm talking to people. I'm looking at emails. I'm looking for more money. But I look in the corner and I see people on their phones looking at TikTok. I deleted all social media. TikTok's gone, Instagram's gone, Snapchat's gone, Reddit's gone. All of that is gone. It's all gone from my life. I need it. I really don't. My life has changed. Well, I do need it for the fact of business, money-wise, but not for dopamine. I don't want it on my phone. I don't want that dopamine hit. So I can go on my computer and I can work. But you see, men, or rather not say men, children of young men nowadays will accept a woman who is just offering a pretty face. That's it. But here's the thing. Tons of women are born with a pretty face, and they're getting older and they're creating more and more of that pretty face, and they're developing more of that pretty face up until they start going 30s and it starts declining. But you see, you see the thing here? Do you see the thing here? The value gauge is different. So as a man, you are determined from your value by your skill set. You are literally in a character selection phase. You literally are. In a video game, you have to build up your character stats. This is how it is for men. Your stats have to be more and more and more and more. And that's how you're valued. And in the end, you are to be used. That is just the reality of it. I was once looking at someone's post and they had a quote. They said, "Women are opportunists." And I understand that completely. This is not an attack on any gender, by the way. This is not an attack on man or woman. I'm not putting anyone down. I'm simply stating reality on how I see it. If you are a man and you're trying to get by in this world, you have to understand that you are going to be treated differently than the other gender. Even as a man right now, even as a young man right now, you will not talk to your bros the same way you would talk to a female. You just won't. You'll talk to a female more sweeter, more calmly, more, you know. As a man, you'll talk more sternly, more, you know, direct. It's just different. You're valued different. So you have to always be placing values on you. Keep going to the next level. Keep grinding. Keep providing your skill sets. That is who you are. You are a provider. It can't be sad about it. It's unfortunate sometimes. It may hurt your ego a little bit. Damn, why the world gotta be against me like that? No, it ain't about that. It's just what it is. As a sperm, your job started at sperm. You were born to grind. But in the end, out of all those millions of troops and all those wars fought, yo ass was the one who survived. You are a king. You're a king. Because you survived. So act like it. We all need to act like it. I never want to hear someone say, "Oh, I don't want to do better for myself." Get the hell out of here. No. Unacceptable. We're kings. We're queens. We're all of these. But we have to keep going. Don't let anything put you down. Don't let anything keep you down. Just keep going. If you have a goal, complete it. Make sure that goal is putting you further in terms of mental strength, physical strength, spiritual strength. Everything you do for yourself must put you in the next step, because we don't have time anymore to waste. And this is my message to all men. She says we don't need men anymore. What? A world without men literally means no kids. A world without women literally means no kids. It takes two to tango, baby. It takes two to tango. You gotta understand, we need each other. But the fact is that they have split the energies of both. So now we feel we don't need each other, when in reality, we're confused. They gave us an illusion. It's really important that we keep going as men. So important. That is my message to all the men. Whew. Always a good stream, baby. Always a good stream. So I'm gonna end it off here. I hope y'all get some value from this. And I hope y'all level up, keep leveling up. Oh, why is that whiter than it? Oh, never mind. Y'all keep leveling up, and I'll see y'all in the next stream. Keep leveling up. Peace.